My phone lit up with a message from my cousin, Leo. An apology. Said he didn't know I was left out. Called it an oversight. I took a screenshot of his own video, the one with the family-only caption, and sent it right back to him. I asked him how you have an oversight that includes every single person but one. He never answered. Then my mother called. Her voice was shattered. She was crying, saying they were going to lose the house. She begged me to reconsider, promised me nothing like this would ever happen again, swore I'd be the first call for every holiday, every birthday from now on. I asked her one simple question. Whose idea was it? She said it wasn't anyone's idea. It was a miscommunication, a misunderstanding that just happened. I let the silence hang there for a moment. I asked her how 15 people show up for a turkey dinner because of a misunderstanding. How does that work exactly? She just cried harder. She said I was her son and she loved me, and couldn't I find it in my heart to forgive them? I told her I was also her son on Christmas Day, and for 3 years I'd put their stability ahead of my own. I asked her where that consideration was when they were setting the table. She promised. She swore on her own mother's grave things would be different. And I believed her. I believed that now that the money was gone, they would definitely include me. But that wasn't the same as warning me there. That was including me because I was a bank account. March. A different approach. My sister, Sarah, showed up at my door unannounced. She looked tired. She said the family was tearing itself apart, fighting, blaming. She admitted it. They had planned the dinner for weeks. The idea, she said, was to have a nice, stress-free dinner, and somehow they'd all convinced themselves that I'd be happier doing my own thing. I asked her what she meant by stress-free. What was the stress? She shifted on her feet, couldn't look me in the eye. She said sometimes I brought a heaviness, that I talked about work pressure or feeling out of the loop. They just wanted a purely positive day. So I was excluded because I had occasionally expressed feeling excluded, the perfect self-justifying loop. She said Mom and Dad were talking about selling the house, that without my payment they were drowning. She said Dad looked like he'd aged 10 years. I reminded her that preventing that exact situation was the reason I'd sent the money for 3 years. I'd been their silent insurance policy, and all the while, they saw me as the source of the tension. She asked me what it would take, what they had to say or do to make me restart the payments. I told her it wasn't about words anymore. It was about what I had learned. They had shown me I was valuable for my financial contributions, but not valuable enough to share a meal with. That was the truth, and no apology could erase it. She left crying, telling me I was destroying the family over one mistake. April. My dad sent me a text, a link to a real estate listing. Their house. The message said, "This is what your stubbornness has accomplished. 40 years of memories gone." I drove over there that weekend, stood across the street. The for sale sign was a stake through the heart of that lawn. I remembered running through sprinklers there, birthday parties, Christmases when I was actually welcome. But I also remembered the video, the laughter, the empty chair where I should have been. My phone buzzed. Another message from Leo. He said he heard about the house, said the family wasn't the same. He missed talking to me at gatherings. I asked him why he missed our conversations now, but didn't miss them enough to notice my absence at a family-only event. He didn't have an answer for that either. The house sold. My parents moved into a small apartment across town, and the family, it just came apart. Without the house as an anchor, the big gathering stopped. The family atomized. My aunt called me, her voice cold. She said she hoped I was happy, that I'd shattered decades of tradition. She blamed me for tearing everything apart over a perceived slight. I asked her if she thought family unity was something that could be bought. I reminded her their unity had been funded by my money, while I was excluded from their circle. She told me I was overthinking it, that normal families fight and make up. I told her she was right. Normal families do. But normal families don't lie about canceled holidays, and they don't treat a son like an ATM and a nuisance at the same time. She asked me if I felt better now that I'd had my revenge and everyone was suffering. I told her I didn't feel better. I felt sad. I felt disappointed, and I felt sure I'd done the right thing. 8 months later, my life is different. Without that $1,500 anchor around my neck every month, I've saved more money than I thought possible. I'm looking at houses for myself. I started seeing someone. She's kind. She knows a little about what happened, but she doesn't really get it. She says family is family, that I should forgive and forget, that holding a grudge only hurts me. I try to explain it's not a grudge, it's a realization. The Christmas lie wasn't the cause, it was the symptom, the final undeniable proof of a pattern I'd been too blind to see. I was always the reliable one, the one who would understand, the one who could be counted on for help, but not for joy. She thinks I'm being too analytical, that families are messy. Maybe she's right, but I can't unknow what I know. I can't sit at their new table in their small apartment knowing the only reason I have a seat is because they remember what happens when I don't. Last week, my dad texted, asked to meet for coffee. Just us. He was waiting at a small cafe. He looked old, tired. He lost weight. We sat for a minute in silence. Then he spoke. He said he spent months being angry with me, feeling betrayed. But lately, he said, he'd been trying to see it from my side. He tried to imagine how he would feel if his family had done that to him, while taking his money. He admitted it. The dinner was planned for weeks. My mom had suggested inviting me, but my aunt said I seemed stressed, that I might prefer a quiet day. And in the moment, it seemed easier. He said he was sorry. Not the desperate save the house apology. This was quieter, truer. An admission that they had taken me for granted, that they had treated me as an obligation, not a son. He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask me to come to a barbecue. He just said he was sorry, and he hoped maybe one day we could build something new. I told him I appreciated that. I told him I'd been sad more than angry. As we left, he asked if we could do this again sometime. Just coffee, no agenda. I said yes. I don't know what will happen with the rest of them. The trust is too broken. The dynamic is too poisoned. But maybe with him, it's a start. My girlfriend was wrong about one thing. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do isn't to forgive and forget, it's to draw a line, to demand to be seen for who you are, not just for what you provide. For the first time in years, the money I earn is mine. The life I'm building is my own. And that quiet, empty Christmas day was the price I had to pay to get it.